Season 12, Episode 4. Contractor went bankrupt halfway through the job. I paid $47,000, twice Part 2. The landlord thought hiring a new contractor would solve the problem. Instead, it uncovered another layer of expensive surprises. 3 different contractors agreed to inspect the partially completed renovation. Each one spent several hours walking through the property, checking electrical panels, testing plumbing, measuring framing, reviewing permits, looking behind unfinished walls. When the estimates came back, they all said something similar. "We can't guarantee work we didn't perform." That sentence would become one of the most expensive lessons of the entire project. The new contractors weren't refusing the job. They were refusing responsibility for someone else's workmanship. If they were going to put their company's name on the project, they needed confidence that everything hidden behind the walls had been done correctly. Unfortunately, there was only one way to know for certain. Open the walls. Remove sections of finished work. Inspect everything. Then rebuild it. The landlord couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had already paid to have much of that work completed. Now he was being told he had to pay to remove it before paying someone else to do it again. As demolition resumed, the problems became impossible to ignore. Electrical wiring had been installed without proper support in several locations. One bathroom plumbing drain had the wrong slope, meaning it would likely have caused drainage problems after tenants moved in. Several newly installed cabinets weren't properly anchored. A shower waterproofing system had never been completed. If the renovation had continued without inspection, those hidden defects might not have appeared until months later. What looked complete on the surface wasn't complete at all. The first contractor had moved quickly. Too quickly. Progress looked impressive in weekly photographs. But appearances can be misleading. Construction isn't judged by how finished it looks. It's judged by what's built underneath. Then came another setback. The city building inspector scheduled a follow-up visit. Because the original contractor had abandoned the project, several permits had to be updated before work could continue. Some inspections had to be repeated. Certain approvals had expired during the delay. Paperwork that normally takes a few days now stretched into several weeks. Meanwhile, the property continued sitting vacant. Every month added another mortgage payment, another insurance payment, another property tax obligation, another utility bill. Cash flow had completely stopped. The investment that was supposed to generate income had become a monthly expense. The landlord contacted his attorney to understand what options remained. Could he recover the money? Could he sue? Would bankruptcy court return any of the funds? The attorney explained the reality. When a business files for bankruptcy, creditors often line up hoping to recover what they're owed. Banks, suppliers, equipment lenders, subcontractors, property owners. Everyone joins the same line. Unfortunately, not everyone reaches the front. The landlord filed the necessary paperwork. Months later, he received notice that any recovery would likely be minimal. Even if funds eventually became available, they probably wouldn't come close to covering his losses. The legal process continued. The renovation still needed to be finished. Waiting for bankruptcy court wasn't an option. Reluctantly, the landlord hired another contractor. This time, the selection process looked completely different. Instead of choosing based primarily on price, he focused on documentation. He asked for current licensing information, proof of insurance, active workers' compensation coverage, references from projects completed within the past year, financial stability, supplier relationships, detailed payment schedules. He also insisted that payment draws match completed work, not projected work. Every draw required photographs. Every phase required inspection. No exceptions. The contractor agreed. The project finally moved forward again. Slowly, methodically, professionally. When the renovation was finally complete, the property looked better than it ever had. new flooring, updated kitchen, modern bathrooms, fresh paint, energy-efficient lighting. Everything passed inspection. The home was ready for its next tenant. But the financial picture had changed dramatically. The original renovation budget had been approximately $47,000. By the time legal fees, demolition, rework, permit updates, additional labor, carrying costs, and replacement contractors were included, the total investment had climbed to nearly double the original expectation. The property still became a successful rental, but it took much longer to recover those costs. The return on investment the landlord had carefully calculated at the beginning of the project no longer existed. He had to create an entirely new financial plan. Looking back, he realized there wasn't one catastrophic mistake. There were several smaller decisions that combined created unnecessary risk. He assumed positive online reviews told the entire story. He assumed references represented every customer experience. He assumed that because work appeared to be progressing, subcontractors were being paid. He assumed the contractor's business was financially healthy simply because the job site looked busy. Those assumptions weren't unreasonable, but they weren't verified. Experience taught him the difference between trusting someone and verifying their process. After completing the renovation, the landlord created a contractor management system that every future project would follow. No contractor would receive large advance payments. Every payment would be tied to documented milestones. Before each payment, work would be inspected and photographed. Whenever practical, lien waivers would be collected as work progressed to help confirm that subcontractors and suppliers had been paid. Permits would be monitored throughout the project instead of only at the beginning. Communication would always be documented in writing. Weekly progress meetings became standard, even for smaller renovations. Instead of asking, "How's everything going?" he started asking specific questions. Which inspections have passed? Which materials have been delivered? Which subcontractors have completed their work? Are there any unpaid invoices that could delay the project? Simple questions often revealed important answers. He also built something every landlord should have before starting a major renovation: a contingency reserve. Construction projects rarely go exactly as planned. Unexpected structural repairs, material price increases, permit delays, weather, supplier shortages, labor issues. Any one of those can increase costs. A financial reserve doesn't eliminate problems, but it gives landlords room to solve them without making rushed decisions. Today's property owner file isn't really about bankruptcy. It's about due diligence. Choosing the right contractor isn't just about finding someone who can build. It's about finding someone who runs a stable business. A beautifully remodeled kitchen has very little value if the company completing it can't finish the job. Sometimes the lowest bid becomes the highest cost. Not because the contractor intended to fail, but because the business behind the project wasn't strong enough to survive. Every investment property eventually needs repairs. Some need complete renovations. Those projects create opportunities to increase value. They also create opportunities for expensive mistakes. The landlords who consistently succeed understand something important. Managing contractors is every bit as important as managing tenants. Both require systems. Both require documentation. Both require verification. And both can become extremely expensive if ignored. Every property owner file leaves us with one lesson. Today's lesson is this: never confuse visible progress with verified progress. Walk the property. Review the paperwork. Ask questions. Document everything. Because protecting your investment doesn't stop once construction begins. In many ways, that's when the real management starts. If you found today's case helpful, consider subscribing to Property Owner Files, give this video a like, and share it with another real estate investor or landlord. Have you ever had a renovation go completely off the rails? What systems helped you recover? Or what would you do differently today? Share your experience in the comments below. Your insight could help another property owner avoid making the same costly mistake. Next time on Property Owner Files. Season 12, Episode 5. Tenant filed a complaint that got my property condemned. The code violation chain. One phone call to the city triggered inspections, violations, and months of repairs that no landlord saw coming. Until next time. Successful landlords don't just own properties, they build systems that protect them.